بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وصلي وسلم عليه رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, like I said, I'm inshallah gonna make this a regular thing. So here I am again on live Q&A Sundays, and inshallah, let me address some of the questions that I've got. And if somebody joins me in the live session, inshallah, and asks a question, inshallah, I will try and answer that as well. So I've got a couple of questions that I want to address. The first question that was asked was by a subscriber, and it's an important question. I think it's a question that a lot of people struggle with and they don't know an answer to. The question was about the online trading, the forex trading, and whatever you want to call it. Basically, you have an app in which through which you can invest some money primarily, and then you have an option to buy and sell different goods, for example gold or even currency, different currencies, or even what do you call that, diesel or petrol, etc., etc., different goods. You can just by just one tap you can buy stuff and then you can sell stuff. um it's normally it's called forex trading. So the question is it halal in Islam? Can you do that? Now, this is a question that a jurist, a mufti, should address. And I have never made a claim that I'm a jurist, I'm a mufti or an alim to begin with. But what I will do is, inshallah, I will share with you my understanding as a humble student of religion and make it relatable without using any big hi-fi terms, and to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my study, the way I've tried to reconcile modern times with let's say classical jurisprudence. And my primary resource in saying all this will be Al-Fiqh al-Islami wa Dillatuhu by Sheikh Wahab al-Zuhaili. I have talked about this a lot of times, and people who know me know that I take a lot from this book. I'm a huge fan of Sheikh Wahab al-Zuhaili. Search him on the internet. He's got this excellent book called Al-Fiqh al-Islami wa Dillatuhu. It is unfortunately not yet translated into English, but you can find it in Urdu language. And for my subscribers in my community who speak Urdu language, who can understand and read Urdu language, I highly recommend this book. You can find it online, you can find it around at any big bookstore. So buy it and go through it at least once in your lifetime. You'll learn a lot. So let me address this. A lot of people don't know this, but there is a very, 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 and extremely important usul when it comes to bay'. Bay' means, in Islamic terms, it means the the tijara, when you buy or sell something. That's called bay'. There is an usul in bay' that you cannot sell, you cannot sell something that you do not have a possession of. Please understand this and understand this well. Irrespective of whether you are a muqallid or you are a ghayru muqallid, you follow a fiqh, you follow a school of jurisprudence, or you do not follow a school of jurisprudence. You're a blind follower or you're not a blind follower, irrespective of that, irrespective of the fuqaha's interpretations, their fatawa, irrespective of the jurisprudence books, whether you believe in one or the other. This is an usul that is common amongst everyone, every jurist, every scholar. The usul is, and this is a sahih hadith, a Sahih hadith. The Sahih hadith is, now this is from um, Sunan Abi Dawud. The number of the hadith is right in front of you, 3503. And this is a Sahih hadith. I believe Albani has recorded it in his book Silsilatul Hadith Sahiha. I'm not sure, but definitely he has done a takhrij, and he has called this hadith Sahih. The sanad is Sahih. The people in the sanad, they are all thiqah. So this is a Sahih hadith. And so whenever we find an amr of the Rasul, a decree of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Muslims, it becomes at least wajib for us, if not fard. If it comes in a mutawatir hadith, if a decree comes in a mutawatir hadith, it becomes fard. If it comes in sahih hadith, it is at least wajib. That is the hukm al-shar'i. So what does the hadith say? The hadith says, on Yusuf ibn Mahak. Okay, let me read the sanad completely for you guys. حدثنا مسدد حدثنا أبو عوانة عن أبي بشر عن يوسف ابن ماهك عن حكيم بن حزام قال يا رسول الله يأتيني الرجل فيريد مني البيع ليس عندي أفأبتعه له من السوق فقال لا تبع ما ليس عندك. Hakim said, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a man comes to me and wants me to sell him something which is not in my possession. Should I buy it for him from the market? The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, do not sell what you do not possess. Now, I don't know what else anyone would ask for. If you are a Muslim, amanna wa sadaqna, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying in extremely clear Fusha Arabic, la tabi' ma laysa indak. Do not sell what you do not possess. So understand this usul, understand this asl, understand this principle. You cannot sell what you do not possess. So the first thing is, and this actually is something that a lot of people are confused when it comes to real estate as well. You see these contracts happening every day, especially in my region, in the Indo-Pak, in the subcontinent region, where there would be a company that just emerges out of nowhere, and they would get some land, like half of it they would buy, and half of it they tell that person who's selling them that land that we will pay you as soon as we get to sell some houses. And then what they do is they prepare a file, and then they sell those files, saying that these files ensure that you will get a house in this land. We cannot ensure you which part of the land you will get it in, but we ensure you that you are going to get a house in this region, in this land. Now, there are three things that are extremely wrong here. The first thing is they themselves do not possess the land completely in 90% of the cases, so they can't sell it. Number one. Number two, they're not selling the land, they're promising a house. So you pay for that file, and they're going to build a house, and then they're going to hand it over to you. Now, they have not yet built that house, so the bay' is haram. The bay' is haram. They can't sell what they don't possess. Please understand this. Lots of people don't understand this. This is irrespective of whether you are a muqallid, you follow a fiqh, or you don't follow a fiqh. Even if you are a ghayru muqallid, this is a basic primary usul, and you just cannot do away with it. So please be clear about this. Now, This is the same with, all right, for example, let's take an example of Amazon. Now, Amazon is a huge company, right? So 99%, 99 times out of 100, when they say they're selling something, they have it in their possession, they have it in their warehouse, right? But how about the local companies like Alibaba, for example, or in Pakistan, Alibaba owns a an online shop, an online mall called Daraz, for example. So there are a lot of sellers who put their advertisements on this site, telling people that they have so and so items for sale. But in actuality, what happens is when you place the order, they order it from somebody else, and then they procure the order, and then they send it to you. Now, this type of bay is haram. They cannot do it. The ones who's buying it, he or she is under the impression that they have it. If he or she is under this impression, they can buy it from here, no problem. That would be then fine for them. But the ones who are selling it, for them it would be haram, right? So please understand this. This should be extremely clear. Now, coming to the online trading, the forex thing and whatnot, um, understand a couple of things about this. First of all, this is all based on, how can I put it? Let me just find a word that is better understood by you guys. Let's say speculation. All right. So this model of trading is all primarily based on speculation. How is it speculation? When you're buying something with a tap on your cell phone, you're just tapping your cell phone and you're buying something. That's an app, and in that app everything lives. And so say you have bought a some gold for $100. Now you are speculating, would the price go up or would the price come down, right? That's the speculation. That's what it's based upon. So if the app tells you that you should buy so and so goods because in a couple of hours or maybe in a day or a time period the price is going to go up, what is that? That is speculation. Speculation comes under the hukm of gambling. That is what primarily gambling is. And so that makes it extremely haram. I mean, there is no such thing as extremely haram. Absolutely haram. This is absolutely forbidden in Islam. Number one. Number two, whatever you're buying or selling, neither you have a possession of that, neither the one who are selling you these things have a possession of it, right? So, for example, you have this app and you're presented with an opportunity, so-called opportunity, to buy 50 barrels of petrol. Let's just say, where are these barrels of petrol? Where are they? They don't own it. The ones who are selling it to you, they don't own these 50 barrels of petrol. When you buy these 50 barrels of petrol, you don't own them. So how can they sell it in first place? And then how can you sell it? You don't have a possession of this. So when you're doing it continuously, it's obviously haram. It falls under the hukm of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you cannot sell what you do not possess. Number three, a lot of times when you are doing forex trading, it comes under the hukm of something that is called in the jurisprudence bay' sarf. Bay' sarf is the type of bay' in which you exchange the same jins, the same thing, for the same thing. For example, gold for gold, fidda for fidda. What do you call fidda in English? Silver. So gold for gold, dhahab li dhahab, gold for gold, and silver for silver, money for money, currency. When you're buying and selling currency, most of the times it's riba, because there are so many rules and regulations that surround bay' sarf. It is a chapter into its own right. I can spend all night with you guys just explaining the rules and regulations of bay' as-sarf, of trading the same goods for the same goods, right? So that makes it extremely risky. So this is forex trading is really haram. I don't know of a single alim, of a single academic scholar. I'm not talking about the non-academic self-proclaimed scholars that we have these days in abundance all around us, the ones who have learned from Sheikh Google, and they're one book scholars now. They're self-proclaimed scholars of Islam. I don't know about them, but I don't know a single academic scholar of Islam who has said till date that this type of online trading and forex trading is halal. It's not. It's not permissible in Islam. Also, a word of caution. Even if you uh, try and justify it somehow, I don't know how you would go about justifying this, but let's say you do. You find a loophole, you exploit it, what's called hila. I don't know. I mean, it is very wadih that it is haram. It is extremely understandable and extremely apparent that this type of trading is haram. But let's say you find a way in which you can justify this. Then what I can tell you from personal first-hand experience is that 85% of time and above, in fact, let's say 90 to 95% of time, you're going to regret it. Really. People that I know personally who have invested in this, maybe at first they could get something back, but in the long run, they have lost their hard earned money. All right. So just, this is a word of caution for you. Okay. Another thing related to this. I have been seeing this a lot around me. This concept of people investing in somebody's um, who's already a businessman and he or she is running a business, and you invest in it and you say, okay, I'm gonna invest this amount of money in your business, and you're gonna give me this amount of profit every month or after a year or whatever on a percentage. Now please understand this. What distinguishes bay' from riba, what distinguishes a legitimate buying and selling contract from interest is only one thing and one thing alone. That is الشراكة في النفع والنقصان, where you agree that you will get the profit if that guy that you're investing with makes profit. But if he or she endures a loss, you will also endure that loss with them. Unless you have that, there is absolutely no provision that can make this type of investment halal. Now there is another thing. When you invest, let's say you have invested 1 million, and you say, okay, this million is with you, and I'm gonna give it to you, and it is going to stay with you. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna give me a profit of, let's say, 30% or 20% every year. And if after a year, let's say, you haven't made any profit, then that year I will not take profit from you. This is halal. Why? Because the currency, that the money, the amount of money that you have given this person, I mean, wallahu alam, I'm just trying to tell you my understanding of all of this. But the point is, because it is depleting, the value is deprecating every year. What do you call that? There is a term, a proper term, which I don't know about. I'm not an economist, but what it's devalue. Maybe the currency is getting devalued every year. Maybe that's what they call the economists say that happens to the currency. But if, let's say, you have given this guy a million today, after 10 months or 12 months, after a year, the value of that currency will be lower. So that million would just be around 7 million in comparison with today's worth, right? So then this makes it halal, because then you're asking him that how I am going to do trade with you is that I'm going to pay you this money, I'm going to give you this money, you can keep it, you can do your business with it, but just pay me let's say, pay me some money, give me back something in the shape or way or form of profit that can bridge the gap the way the currency is getting devalued, right? So that would be then halal. And you're also agreeing that, let's say, if 1 year the guy who's doing the business doesn't make any money, doesn't make any profit, that you're not gonna ask for the profit in turn. So you're a partner in profit and loss both. Bible asked specific is. The answer is very simple. If you want your kids to go and study abroad, hands down, O and A levels. How many matriculation or FSC people you know today that go abroad and study abroad? Zero, perhaps, maybe 5%. And that too after masters, when they can get Fulbright scholarship or something of that sort. Otherwise, it's O and A level kids that go abroad and study there. But if you want them to pursue a career inland, let's say you want them to become a doctor in Pakistan, you want them to become an engineer in Pakistan, then actually they would be at a disadvantage, technically speaking, if they've done their A levels. Because A level, you would require an equation. You'd have to apply for an equation to FSC. And if your kid's got an A star in A levels, that would be equivalent to not more than 90% in the government system of education. So that's a huge disadvantage, because kids who do FSC, pre-medical or pre-engineering, they can even get 97% marks or 96% marks. But your kid, even if he is the highest scorer, even if he gets A star from Cambridge, the equation for that is only 90% of marks. So another thing is that O and A level develops a lot of your analytical skills and your cognition, and it's a concept based learning where you're taught concepts, where you're taught the crux of the matter, instead of just telling you to cram something mindlessly. So these kids are also at a disadvantage when they pursue higher studies inland, because our system is primarily about learning things by heart, learning information by heart. So they feel ill placed, they feel misfits when they go to universities in our land after doing their A levels. If they've done their FSC, then they are pretty much well acquainted with the system of cramming and with the system of learning by heart mindlessly, not understanding the concept, just learning the information and just cramming the information. On the other hand, your kid will develop a good cognitive faculty and great analytical skills if or she does an O level or her or his A levels. So that's an advantage. So it's really up to you. But the simplest possible answer is, if you want to send them abroad, don't think twice. It's O or A levels. If you want them to study here, then most probably your best shot is to go through the system that our government has devised. It's a borrowed system. It's an old system and it's a bad system, which is matriculation in FSC. So yeah, I hope I answered both the questions. And I see that nobody's pretty much online tonight, I think, because maybe the cricket match between India and Pakistan won. So, yay, long live Pakistan, one from India. Yeah, so that's a big deal. I think lots of people are engaged in after party or something. So, yeah, two cheers out to our cricket team. Um, so, let me look for some other questions. Maybe I can address one more question tonight. Okay. Dowry. Okay, I've been asked a question about dowry. Well, dowry is haram, obviously, Jahez. Yeah, it is a cultural thing, but obviously, I mean, you have to be really naive to think that dowry is in Islam. Islam has nothing to do with dowry. In fact, in Islam, now I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, when you reach the age of marriage, the first thing that your parents do for you is they buy you a home, then they buy you a car. For the Arab guys, they don't usually work, so they just get money from their parents, but they set them up, and then they ask for a girl's hand in marriage. So everything is on the man, on the boy. It's not on the woman or the woman's family that you're getting married to. So really, that's. I think that's pretty easy to understand. I hope dowry is haram in Islam. Okay. What else? Do I have any other questions in my Facebook inbox? Uh, qira'at. I get a lot of questions on qira'at, and the funny thing is, for me personally, that I have a lot of videos on qira'at. What lots of people do is they just look at half of a video, just one video and half of it, and then they post their questions. Guys, please go and look at my channel. I have a lot of videos on this subject, and if you go through all of those, you'll get answers to these questions that you ask. Yes, the Quran is written in a multiformic consonantal text. It's a skeletal text that can be read in multiple ways. So yeah. Okay, what else do we have? Do we have any other question that I can address? Hmm, this sounds interesting. What are my views about the homosexuals? Should they be killed? Oh my God. I have said this times and again. When you don't agree with something, doesn't mean that you kill that person that you disagree with. Okay. And these transvestites and whatnot, if you don't agree with the lifestyle, with the homosexuality thing and LGBT thing, doesn't mean that you go out and you kill these people. They have a right to live as much as you and I have a right to live. All right. So I don't know why guys bring up this question. Um, n- n- you can't justify killing of anyone. All of these things have to go through a proper legal system. All right. Islam always says go to the qadi, go to the court. It doesn't say that you take law in your own hands. And yeah, so first of all, try to understand this. As Muslims, obviously, we cannot agree with a sin. We can't say a sin is a light thing or that a sin should be justified. Sodomy is a sin, all right? Sodomy is a sin. And if somebody has a problem with that, he or she should first of all denounce Islam and say, I'm not a Muslim, right? Okay, fine, then fine. You can disagree with the narrative of Islam. You can disagree with the halal and haram in Islam. There's no problem with that. Disagree and go live your life, man. What's your problem? I mean, I'm not trying to kill you. You're not trying to kill me. Go on with your life. Go on now. Go on. Yalla. So there is no problem. But if you're a Muslim and then you're saying, oh, but homosexuality this and homosexuality that and blah, blah, blah and whatnot. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, are you stupid or are you stupid? Really? I mean, this is this is really the type of frustration that I get when I talk to these kinds of people. Oh, I'm a Muslim, but I don't think there is anything wrong with homosexuality. Okay, you don't think there is anything wrong with homosexuality. How about incest? Oh no, 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 that's totally wrong. Why? Because you're turning around and you're telling me as long as there is no harm to anyone, anyone is pretty much free to live their own life, right? Now, what I'm telling you is that the Quran says that no, this is haram. One should not live a life like this, a life of sodomy. Maybe you guys have studied Marquis de Sade, 120 Days of Sodom or not, but anyways, I'd go into that some other time. Or maybe you guys can watch an excellent movie, Joaquin Phoenix's absolute best. No, the Joker was not his best role, guys. People always come to me, my students, the sir, Joaquin Phoenix, he was phenomenal in the Joker's best performance of his life. No, guys, no. If you really want to see Joaquin Phoenix at his best, watch Quills, starring Joaquin Phoenix and what's the name of this actress or actor rather, who did Titanic? Kate Winslet and Joaquin Phoenix. Quills. Okay, I'm not telling you to go and watch it because it's R-rated, so viewer discretion advised. Uh, Fast forward those scenes, those sinful scenes. But yeah, it's an excellent movie. It's a piece of literature, really. Trash culture literature, but literature really. So highly recommended. But fast forward those scenes in Quills, Joaquin Phoenix is best. But really, I mean, if somebody is a Muslim and thinks that sodomy is allowed, then inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Intahal mawdu'. I don't have anything further to say to that person. Really, I mean, you're naive and stupid. Pardon my language, but first clear your concepts, okay? So homosexuality is not allowed in Islam. Now, people who disagree with, no problem, you can disagree. We can agree on disagreement. What's the problem there? Saying that somebody should go out and kill these people, these homosexuals, it's totally ridiculous. Again, another kind of stupidity. Listen, guys, unfortunately, this is the kind of world that we live in. There are always extremes to a spectrum, two extremes to one spectrum, right? So people, 90% of the time, they take extreme positions, either this or that. There is no in between. We are ummat wasat. We are supposed to be in the middle of that spectrum. We're not extremists, right? Islam tells us not to become extremists. You have a creed, I have a creed. Your creed might be different from mine, but that does not mean that you would kill me or that I would kill you. What song, loud or quiet? I have no idea what you are asking me. I was talking about Quills. I was telling my viewers about this excellent movie in which Joaquin Phoenix stars. It's called Quills. Kate Winslet and Joaquin Phoenix. So, anyways, I was saying that we need to understand this. If you disagree with me, you have a creed, you have a dogma, I have a creed, I have a dogma, and we both disagree on that. That shouldn't be a problem for a harmonious coexistence in society. Where is the problem in that? Our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did contract sulh Hudaybiyah with the non-Muslims, with the militant non-Muslims. So where is the problem in that? I mean, this is this is dissonance, cognitive dissonance, right? These two ideas are compatible. You disagree with somebody, but the life goes on. So Say what? Can you sing Grizzly Bear Sleeping in the Cave? I have absolutely no idea what that is. Kendall K, thank you very much for joining my live stream. But I have absolutely no idea what that is. I am a metalhead. I mostly listen to metal music, Slayer, Sepultura, Metallica. So I only know those songs. Songs by bands like Slayer, Sepultura, Metallica, Megadeth, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, yeah. So I guess I should end on this note, and inshallah, I'll join you guys. I'll see you guys next weekend, and hopefully you'll join me live there. But yeah, so any other questions that I have in my Facebook inbox? No, I think at this point in time, this should be enough. Thank you very much, guys, for listening, because this video, or audio rather, will be available on my channel, and so you guys can revisit it and listen to it. Hopefully you learned something from it. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.